Lisa, Derek Jeter was in uniform tonight. He was in the Yankee dugout, and he most certainly heard the crowd here at Fenway chanting his name over and over again throughout the entire game, which the Yankees, by the way, won. We'll get to that part later. Fans, however, who want to see Derek Jeter actually play still have to be a little bit patient.
Jeter's final farewell, commemorative issue.
It's supposed to be hard to sum up complicated emotions in one word. Not this weekend.
Utmost respect.
Due respect.
Great deal of respect.
Out of respect.
From Jeter for our city and right back at him.
He's just class act coming in and playing.
It's so intense, you can't even force a Sox fan to diss the Yankee captain. And believe me, I tried.
Awesome moment last night at Yankee Stadium.
How perfect was that?
Wouldn't it have been kind of cool if he had struck out, though, just a little bit?
No.
Come on.
No, he's retiring.
Schooled by her and shown up by an 11-month-old.
You're a Sox fan?
Yes, sir.
What's happening right here?
Right here, that's what's happening to Mama.
Dad's Boston, Mom's New York, and the baby, well, he's named Logan, just like the airport, they say.
You're responsible for the baby's outfit tonight.
I am. I sure am.
Such is the level of love for Derek Jeter that this rivalry cools a little bit. He said as much before tonight's game.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anywhere to play besides New York, I guess it's only fitting that it's here in Boston because of, all the games that I've played here, the rivalry.
In fact, the only person I could find to say something even remotely negative about number 2 was a fellow New Yorker.
I hear he's not playing, so I'm a little disappointed.
Well, not tonight, but maybe tomorrow or Sunday.
Yeah, but still, he had to expect that the Yankee fans were going to come here. So I'm a little disappointed that he's not going to play.
Before today's game, Jeter said he got 2-3 hours sleep maximum last night, so he said there was no way he could have played tonight even if he wanted to. That said, however, at least as of right now, Jeter's plans are to play in the game Saturday and Sunday as designated hitter. And of course, that does mean Sunday, his final career game, will be here at Fenway Park. And that's where we're live tonight. Jim Armstrong, WBZ News. Lisa? Jack, thousands of fans have come here just in the past 24 hours, a lot of them using chalk to write their messages on the walkways throughout this part of the public garden. Many others coming to this bench here, leaving a memento behind, maybe leaving flowers or pictures. It's the spot, of course, made famous by that scene in Good Will Hunting with Robin Williams and Matt Damon. This memorial is growing thanks to the efforts of one man who didn't even intend for it to happen.
This is so surreal how many people have actually come out and cared about this and everything.
Surreal because Nick Rabchinuk accidentally started all this. What do you think as you look out? You did this.
I did not do this. A lot of other people have done this. I did one thing and it caught on. That's it.
On Monday night, he grabbed some flowers, some chalk, and he scratched out his favorite Good Will Hunting quote. And ended up drawing others to draw more, like this woman.
One of those things where you kind of want to hear about that it's a hoax the next morning, but it's not.
It's true. The morning did not bring Williams back, but it did bring his fans out. Like this balloon guy who first met Robin Williams as a Big Blue cartoon.
So I decided that I would make a big memorial genie to remember him, and that's what I could contribute to the bench.
Fans from around the world all finding this little spot.
I think the entire world never gonna have somebody like him.
Robin can make you happy and at the same time can make you cry. He's really the best.
And cry they do, but they're together.
He's not there, he's not buried there, but it becomes a memorial and a shrine. I think it's amazing how we do that as part of our own grieving process.
He just touched so many people's lives with his wit and his candor and just the way he approached everything in life. Now, Nick told me he posted that one picture of his own little tribute to Robin Williams online late last night. And when he came back this evening, he simply couldn't believe how big it had grown. He said it's obvious proof, a testament to how much Robin Williams continues to be loved. We're live in the Public Garden in Boston. Jim Armstrong, WBZ News. David, it's important to say that all of these girls were sober at the time of this accident. None of them faced any charges in connection with the crash that happened right behind me here, just under the I-90 overpass. In fact, police at the scene told them they were the luckiest girls they had ever seen. They're telling their story publicly for the first time tonight, but it won't be the last time.
We all knew what to do, but we didn't do it.
It's a weird feeling for these best friends, thinking that they all easily could have died this weekend.
I wouldn't wish this on anybody.
These 6 girls, plus 2 more friends, all crammed into one SUV after their softball banquet Sunday evening. That was their first mistake. Nobody put on a seatbelt. Mistake 2. They were laughing, singing, and barely speeding when everything went wrong.
The car just went out of control.
Holly missed a turn on West Street in Auburn and overcorrected.
And as soon as I tried to pull the car back onto the road on our side, the car just did a 180.
Coming to land on its roof, the 8 teenagers squeezed inside, thrown around like dice. But chance was on their side. Everybody walked out.
As soon as we got out, I looked around and I saw everybody was standing, and I was like, how are we all standing after we flipped over?
The girls feel like there's just got to be a reason they all lived, and they think it's so that they can tell their story.
I don't want to keep it hidden. Yeah, we're kind of ashamed that we did it, and it is stupid. But we want other people to not be stupid like we were at the time. If we can get one group of teenagers to change their minds, maybe we can save somebody from going what we went through.
The girls who have been able to go back to school have already started sharing the story with teachers and classmates, and they're thinking about taking the advice of one of their guidance counselors who suggested they put together a presentation, especially this springtime around prom season, when they say students really should be reminded about driving safely. We're live in Auburn. Jim Armstrong, WBZ News.
Jim?
Today really does change everything for couples in this one couple's position, Jonathan. This thin yellow line here this morning had all the power in the world. Abortion protesters were not allowed to cross it. Then came the Supreme Court's ruling, which doesn't just allow protesters to cross the line. In fact, it allows them to go right up to the front door of a facility like this one.
It was just devastating just to hear those people chant stuff that I'm killing my child, and my child was already dying.
It was the 11-week ultrasound that changed everything for MJ and Aaron Gouveia. Their baby's legs were fusing together. There were no kidneys, no bladder, no chance of survival. Doctors at the Brigham suggested the couple get to this Brookline clinic quickly.
We got out of the car and immediately we could hear the yelling.
Something that I didn't personally want to see on the worst day of my life. I loved this child. I wanted this child.
Protesters respected the 35-foot buffer zone, but sound travels.
It would have been easier if they just physically harmed me. It would have been a whole lot easier, because those words will always stick with me forever.
Our fight to make sure to defend the buffer zone has always been about protecting women's rights and women's access.
That fight led to the Massachusetts state law creating the buffer, a law the U.S. Supreme Court Thursday struck down. But now that this line's power is gone, some protesters say their screaming days are over.
I'm raising my voice. That's not the type of counseling that these people need. These people need to be educated as to what basically is happening in there.
The Gouveias got pregnant again with a healthy baby boy. But without a buffer zone, they fear for other couples who will have to endure what they did.
A woman's just trying to take care of her reproductive health. I mean, she's already being screamed at. Now, without this buffer zone, she could be screamed at with someone right in your face. And I think that's horrible.
Part of the state law that forbids a protester from physically blocking the front entrance to a clinic does still stand tonight. And earlier today, state lawmakers announced they're going to begin working on new legislation to specifically respond to today's Supreme Court ruling. We're live in Boston. Jim Armstrong, WBZ News. Unusual, Jonathan, certainly the word of the day. I spoke to one guy this afternoon who was here when everything was going on. He said he's come to this beach every year for 30 summers and never seen anything like this.
Birthday girls, go.
Samantha and Cassandra's best friends planned a surprise Sweet 16 for both girls.
So we didn't get to go swimming.
But when the group got to Duxbury Beach, the surprise was on all of them.
We saw the police and the helicopter circling, so we knew that something was going on.
You wanted to go in the water when you got here.
Yeah, we were really scared because we're all afraid of sharks.
He's right outside my door.
Around 1:30 Monday afternoon, a state police helicopter spotted a lone great white, estimated to be between 12 to 15 feet long, in the waters not far from Duxbury's Powder Point Bridge.
Pretty soon after that, the lifeguard got on the bullhorn and said everybody out of the water.
But lifeguard Peter Emmett chose his words carefully.
Everyone's asking shark, but no, you can't tell people there's a shark in the water. It's going to be pandemonium.
Only after they got everybody out of the water did officials tell them about the great white. Some took the news in stride, even with a bit of Jaws-related humor.
I was surprised. It was cool.
Scary at all?
I was a little scared.
Did you go back in the water afterwards?
No.
Crews tracked the shark for more than an hour as it lingered about 100 yards offshore. Eventually, they lost sight of it as it appeared to head off to deeper waters. Swimmers got the all clear to head back in around 4 o'clock.
Yeah, we advise them just stay within knee deep, swim at your own risk really, because it could come back at any time.
That officially is the absolute last thing you want to hear from a lifeguard when he's talking to you about great white sharks. That said, however, almost everybody we spoke to on the beach today said they would go back into the water as soon as possible. Live in Duxbury, Jim Armstrong, WBZ News.
My first baby was 10 pounds, 10 ounces, so we were expecting another big baby.
Towards the end, strangers were stopping Caroline Russick on the street to ask if she was carrying twins. Not cool.
As long as she's healthy.
But now that little Carissa is here, her mom feels vindicated.
3 weeks before the scheduled C-section, they were estimating that she was 11.5 pounds.
They were wrong. If your kilogram conversion skills are rusty, we'll do the math. Baby Carissa weighed in at 14 pounds, 5 ounces.
Everyone in the operating room was like, oh my God, look at the size of this baby. They're like, let's get her on the scale. What does she weigh? And nobody could believe it. People were like, we need to check the records. This could be the biggest baby we've ever seen here.
Close. Another baby born at MGH back in 2002 matches Carissa's measurements.
So, tie for first.
Now, mom is 5'9", dad is 6'6", so this is kind of a family thing.
I was 10.5 pounds when I was born, and my mom thinks that I was the record at Mount Auburn when I was born, and my husband was 10 pounds.
But Carissa is the first to make TV.
I just feel like we're very lucky to have another healthy baby.
And another great sleeper. And Mass General Jim Armstrong, WBZ News.